You are looking live inside this arena here in Belgrade, Serbia. Welcome everybody. It's the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup Qualifying Tournament B, and it's the battle between France and Mali. Well, these venues around the world, Osaka here, also Washington, D.C., teams battling out to make it to the 12-team FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, which will be staged in Sydney, Australia later this year. And what an event that is going to be. Already know Australia will be there, as well as USA. They're taking part in the qualifiers, but they know they'll be there. Here in this group, though, 3 of the 4 teams will eventually move on to the World Cup. You see China winning their first game today, 90-76 over Nigeria. China actually led by 29 in that game. Nigeria never gave up, but ended up falling, and now our attention moves to France and Mali. I am Jeff Taylor. Those are the French fans. And beside me is Shona Thorburn. Shona, welcome back to the hot seat. And this is perhaps a game that most people are picking France to win, and for good reason. If you look at the rankings, if you look at what they've accomplished at the Olympics, at the FIBA Women's Eurobaskets over the years. But this Mali team is also a team that we can be excited about.
Absolutely, Jeff. I mean, you come out, this French team, they're kind of going through a new generation process, new coach. Maybe that's an opportunity to sneak up and get a big win over a high-ranked FIBA team. Anything's possible, especially if you see the way that Mali plays. A lot of African teams play. You know, they're aggressive, they like to get out and run. They just like to push the tempo. Can France stay with that kind of a tempo and that style of play?
Well, Mali are led by a Spaniard. Coached him at the FIBA Women's Afrobasket last year in Cameroon, Joaquin Luis Brizuela. Very well-known coach on the continent, in fact. And he will be fully aware of the might of France. Although a France team, how long has it been since we've not had Indine Miem or Sandrine Bruda in a France lineup? Those two bona fide legends of French basketball. When it's all said and done, both of them are not here. And that means Ileana Rupert is going to be perhaps getting a little more of the spotlight. This is maybe her time to really stand out. Nina Siak, Marine Johannes, cool, calm, and collected, relaxed. New coach for them as well, Coach Tupine.
Absolutely, Jeff. You know, when you think about French basketball, you're just so used to hearing Gruda and Miem's name. And I think it's a great opportunity for the younger players to step up and show what they can do without having those 2 players here.
And with that, we will pause for the national anthems for Mali and then France.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem of France. Dame I gospodo, pozdravite sada I himnu Francuske.
Always a great part of the game. Before the game, the national anthems that are played, and exciting times here as Mali and France come out and get ready to trade blows. You can see Coach Toupane and Brizuela from France and Mali respectively. There's Cathy Malan, French legend. I'd say she's a legend, right?
I would say she's pretty well known.
Okay, referees for today's game lining up as well. From Poland, Michael Proch. From Ecuador, Christian Paith, Arteaga, and Sarah Gamal Al-Harnoubi from Egypt. And all three having that, we're all about business. That's what we'd like to see, ready for tonight's game. And from Mali, getting in some last-second layup drills. Referees getting some last-second warm-ups as well. And we can look at the starting fives for both teams. As we also have later tonight, there's Jorge Garbajosa, the Spanish Basketball Federation president, up high watching events tonight, even though Spain are not at the qualifiers. So we see Sangare, Aminata Sangare, Tuti Gandega, Maya Terrera, Sigakone, and Geneva Njai in the starting five for Coach Joaquin Brizuela, Koulibaly, all three Traorés, Sissoko, Dabu, and also Koulibaly, number 12, Adama Koulibaly. Of course, Maya Terrera is the captain of Mali, and there is Coach Joaquin Luis Brizuela Carrion. And I think he would say Carrion, Shona. And we'll have a look at also France. Does that qualify as a worried look from Coach Brizuela to you? And we'll see the French starting five here.
I think that's his game time look.
Very interesting. So Olivia Pupa's back. Obviously missed the Olympics. Alexei Chartereau, Eliana Rupert, Gabby Williams, and Sarah Chevajon. So very different looking starting five. Berkane, Fotux, Siak, Badian, Johannes Toure, and Kendra Sherry. Now, a couple of those players, Fotux and Sherry, play for your club. Well, you're an assistant coach at Lens, the champions of France, defending champions. So anything they do well tonight, you'll take a lot of credit for. Jean-Aimé Toupane, the coach, the head coach. He replaced Valerie Garnier, who was at the helm for several years and did such a, you have to admit, got France to so many finals at the FIBA Women's Eurobaskets, and also the bronze medal game at the Olympics. And I think as time goes on, people will appreciate her reign as the head coach. And France felt like it was time for just a change. And it happened not just there, but it happened in Canada, it happened in Belgium, it happened, you know, Spain, Japan, USA changed coaches, and nothing personal. It's all about sometimes change is good, and I think that was kind of the approach that France took. And these players, I am excited to see, you know, when a Pupa plays at her best, she is just, boy, she sinks her teeth into you. She can take over a game with her defense. So I'm glad to see her back in the lineup. Chartereau as well, I think had a disappointing last summer. I think she's looking to bounce back. I know there are questions about how she was used. Maybe didn't help her, but it looks like she's now ready to step into a back. I know there are questions about how she was used. Maybe didn't help her, but it looks like she's now ready to step into a leadership role in this France team. Well, good evening, everybody. If you're just joining us here in Belgrade, we are underway in the Ranko Žeravica Sports Hall. France taking on Mali. France winning the opening tip, attacking the basket to the right. And the ball goes out of bounds. So Mali gets the first possession, and Tuti Gandega brings it up the court. remember watching her at a FIBA Women's Afrobasket in Senegal, and she was electric. I know they're glad for her to be back in the team. Here is the bounce pass, and the basket is good. Mali's number 14, Sika Kone.
A good start of the game for Mali, running their systems, wide open layup.
And Rupert coming out and say, put me in the starting lineup, give me some minutes, and I'm going to deliver.
Exactly, and again, you know, I don't think we would see Alexia Chartreux or Ileana Rupert in the starting lineup had Endimium and Sandrine Gruda been here. So what an opportunity for these two still young post players for France.
And the reach and a late whistle, but a foul has been called. We do miss those players. We've enjoyed watching them play for so many years. Endimium, and Sandrine Gruda. I mean, I feel like I've gone from middle age to old age watching them. And they've grown up as well. They were young when they, you know, seems like they were just young pups. And now they're veterans.
There are also two players who you know, will be back by the World Cup.
Yeah,
they're nursing little injuries, and
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, no, it's not. They haven't retired. They will. I'm sure we will see both of them in France jersey soon.
Neba makes one of two, and the ball goes out of bounds, back over to France. Here it is again, scrapping, and good work by Chartreux to throw it off of the Malian player. So Gandega has the difficult assignment of guarding Pupa. It's probably a better experience guarding her than being guarded by her.
I mean, Tutu Gandega, she spent many years playing in France, so she knows these players very well also.
That ball goes out of bounds.
So both teams picking up aggressively full court defense.
And I guess throughout this encounter, and Toupane has also already coached in FIBA Women's Eurobasket Qualifiers, the French national team. You can maybe assess some of the changes or make us aware, perhaps, of how France are maybe doing things a little bit differently.
I do think absolutely they're a lot more aggressive defensively than in years past.
Boy, talk about aggressive defense. Gabby Williams takes it right away. Quick outlet pass up to Chevejon. And she was a little off balance. And the ball goes off of Ileana Rupert. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, you know, offensively, just from watching France in their 2 games in November, it's something that they really want to do. They want to be a more aggressive full-court defensive team, more aggressive, you know, even in the half-court. And then I think on offense, they're getting out and running like we've seen. You know, they've turned the ball over, but they are trying to run. They are trying to play.
How about Gandega? Tutu Gandega getting her first 2 points of the game. And look at the aggressive defense. And the dish on the break, and the basket is good for Mali, who showing a little bit of hustle themselves. Kone with that basket. The steal was Aminata Sangare. And that was a turnover on Epupa, or by Epupa, who usually causes the turnovers. Epupa. And Rupert flies in, follows up on a miss, passes it back outside. Now Williams, and Gabby Williams misses, but again, the long rebound off the missed three-pointer.
Good job by France here, sticking with it even though they're missing, giving themselves second and third opportunities.
And you can see what happens when you give a team too many bites at the cherry. That is a 3 for Chartreux, and now the turnover at Pupa, and passes to Chartreux, and somehow Mali keep it in bounds. This is a fun game to watch already. Long jump shot off target by Sangare. I almost think that Mali might prefer facing a lot of defensive pressure. It helps them play faster as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's, you know, the style of basketball that they want to play, aggressive, in your face, offensively and defensively. Thought Rupert was going to get away with a foul there.
Well, Njai was like a bullet out of a gun racing up the court. Look at her. And Rupert does indeed pick up the foul. So Epupa's coming out, Chevejon's coming out, and Fotux is coming in along with Marine Johannes.
And I think this is definitely a strength that France have, is their bench. You know, they have 7 players on the bench who can definitely come in and keep the same level of basketball, same tempo, same aggressiveness.
Well, good alert play by Mali's number 14, Kone.
Yeah, just kind of a hustle play, you know. She never gave up on the basket.
Here's Johannes, born to thrill. Passes over to Gabby Williams. And Gabby Williams also an electric performer. She gets on the baseline. What a bounce pass to Rupert. Boy, that was slick.
Great pass, nice off-ball movement by Rupert.
Fotux hounding Gandega. Sangare back and the pass. Oh boy, look at this, a fortuitous picking up the loose ball. France almost forcing the turnover, but they didn't grab it and it fell kindly for the second time to Mali, who scored another bucket. 8 points for Kone already. Fotux and her, what would you call that, a lob pass? It was got a touch on it and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay at this end, but with just 3.7 seconds left.
Really, for me, right there, I think it was a better defensive possession by Mali.
Carrera, the captain, got a hand on that. Here's Johannes. She gets rid of it, and Rupert again. Wow! Second 3 of the game for Ileana Rupert.
Good job by her. Clock awareness, knows she has to get the shot up, but it was also a good-looking shot. She didn't rush it. She took her time. Her feet were set.
Johannes pulls up on the break.
I think this is kind of a perfect example of how France didn't play before. A fast break, you know, 3-point shot. She had rebounders, so I'm not saying it's a bad shot, but you would not have seen France do that previously.
Yeah, they look almost unrecognizable the way they're playing right now. Rupert, will it be her third 3? Yes, it will. Wow. Goodness. Look at the ball handling from Gabby Williams. A little bit of showtime. Fotux gets it back to Johannes. They're sharing the basketball, and they are finding the red-hot Rupert.
And don't forget, Jeff, you and I covered the U19 World Cup in Belarus.
Under 17.
Under 17, sorry.
With Rupert and Fotux.
With Rupert, Fotux, and Kendra Sherry.
Yep.
So to see them, and you know, I remember you and I, when we do these younger events, the U19, U17, we talk about who's going to be around at the senior level and really contributing. And great example of 3 players that we saw 4 years ago now? 4 or 5 years ago, so.
Yeah, and it was, they didn't win it. They got to the final, right?
They got to the final. They lost to the U.S., yeah.
And a great example. Here is another 3, this one by Johannes. A great example of the strong youth programs that pay dividends. 3-point shot is good from Gandega.
So good job here by Mali. I like this pace. I think this pace suits Mali better than it does France.
And that pass into the paint to Rupert, stolen. Sangare, and good rebound, and good sharing of the basketball. Not settling for the rush shot. There. Mali is showing great play. Terreira, the captain, good patience. I think the temptation would have been to go straight up with it, but instead, 2 more passes later, and you end up with an open jump shot.
Yeah, exactly. Unselfish basketball by Mali here. Really, everyone's contributing for them so far in this game.
Here's another look at Terreira's shot right here. Let's go down to Coach Tupin and see if we can listen in.
De tir extérieur, on dirait qu'on est en fin de possession. On a le temps d'aller plus loin. La balle n'arrive pas à l'intérieur. Donnez la balle intérieure, la mobilité derrière, on transfère et on joue. Il n'y a pas à se précipiter là. Il ne faut pas qu'on les laisse prendre confiance. Ok? Après, quand on fait hors, quand tu as passé là, que tu es parti là, j'aimerais que cette grande elle vienne après au pic. Il ne faut pas faire cet écart, ça sert à rien. Venez au pic là derrière.
There's Zoran Radovic, a FIBA former Yugoslavian international, taking in the action along with these fans. And of course, I guess the main event here will take place after this game. The final game when Korea go up against the host nation, Serbia, who have given international basketball quite a thrill, both international women's basketball and international men's basketball over the years, especially the women in recent times, winning last year's FIBA Women's Eurobasket. Amongst many of their achievements. Here is Badian, meanwhile, getting down to the baseline, outside. Oh boy, how about that? Nice looking shot by Toure. Amagan Toure. Good pass.
Good job by Badian to drive and find the open player, Toure, who I'm sure a lot of people would recognize her.
I like that. Look at how much hustle there is going to the glass by Kone. They do call the foul on her, but I think those are the types of plays they're going to have to make to stay in this game.
Just her first personal foul. But I mean, we've already seen her score 4 points out of hustle plays.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to continue. There you see Toure. I was saying she's very well known as a 3x3 player for France. Was in Tokyo for the Olympics with France.
That's big game experience.
Now making her a rival with the 5-on-5.
Fotuks misses. I suppose you could say it could help your game, but every 5-on-5, everybody that plays basketball plays 3-on-3. Here is pass down low and good finish again by Terreira.
Again, aggressive defense by France, but Mali's able to get into the heart of the defense and find the open players.
Oh, look at the dribbling by Toure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would assume, you know, it's a work in progress, this France national team, but you can see with the skill set of so many of these players that they're potentially special in the not too distant future. Here's Tupin having some words with Fotuks. What's he talking about? Something defensively, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. Giving her some encouragement, telling her what she needs to do a little bit better. See her discussing with Katy Milan as well.
So even with 3 teams out of the 4 qualifying, as you look, you can understand why this is such a valuable tournament for all the teams. It's giving France, their youngsters, a chance to get valuable experience. And it's something that Coach Hewley from Nigeria was talking about earlier tonight. Here's a turnover. Look at Toure on the fast break. Boy, she is fun to watch.
Birkany with a missed shot there, but good creation by Toure. They keep it alive, and an easy 2 points for Siak.
Good pass from Johannes. Now Gantega looking for an opening. And No hesitation there. But Pereira a little long. Now Siak and Gandega. I don't know if she had some type of injury. She was looking over at the referee. Or if they called a 3-second violation.
Yeah, on Siak. I think France needed to get the ball to her a little bit earlier. She did have the mismatch over Gandega. Left, and they turn the ball over, so France are probably
look out for Johannes. Well, not a good sequence from Mali right at the end of the quarter. Couldn't have ended any worse for them. All that hard work undone by some carelessness. So what has been a end-to-end exciting game, with France being really tested here. They open up a 23-18 lead at the end of the first quarter.
Exactly like you said, I thought Mali did a great job, minus the last couple possessions. France shooting 50% from the field, but look at that, Jeff. Mali shooting 70%, 7 for 10, and it was really, you know, they turned the ball over with 8 seconds left, an easy basket for Johannes, and then you give up an easy offensive rebound, another 2 points for Siak. Really, it was the last 2 possessions, 2-3 possessions defensively and offensively that put them behind to finish the quarter.
Yeah, and that's the type of thing, is we look at the highlights. I guess as coaches, you will sit down with your players and you'll say, listen, we're right there, but we don't do here. And that's how any lapse in concentration or maybe a bad decision can lead to a run against a really good team. They will punish you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think this pace and this style right now is in favor a little bit more for Mali compared to France. But, you know, the other thing, on the other hand, you have France, who have already played 11 players on their team, and Mali, you know, you have 2-3 players who played almost 10 minutes that quarter, Kone at almost 9 minutes. They don't go deep into their bench, so the longer this game goes, maybe that's where you see France's talent and depth come out.
Yeah, valid points. And Mali also have to be cognizant of the fact that they've got another game coming, 2 more games after this. So now the pass and turnover. So France's defense wearing on this Mali team a little bit. Bakani. And how about Toure? She is explosive.
She's done a great job for France coming in.
Just wondering why I haven't seen her before in the national team, really, up until recently. And here, the jump ball. She has an explosiveness to her game, Toure, that is there for all to see.
She has that 3-on-3 flair. 3x3.
Wow, if that's what it is, then we need more of it. You know, France for so long have played such a controlled type of game, and it feels like the shackles are off a little bit here. Rupert gets it to Siak. Hands it off to Rupert again, and she's fouled at the line by Traoré, Assetou Traoré.
Pretty good defense, just
no, that was Koulibaly, excuse me.
Too aggressive, I think. And you know, previous 2 games, we've talked about players who are missing. We talked about France missing Gruda, Mia, Duché, let's not forget. But
Duché.
Mali,
yep,
they're missing Mariam Koulibaly, right?
Yep.
Who was their leading scorer at last year's Afrobasket. So they're also missing a big piece to their team.
It's all about depth. Next man up, or in this case, next woman up. Bounce pass, shoot again, dig out! Nice finish by Aminata Traore.
Great job by Tuti Gandega there. Again, I feel like she's doing a really good job. Well, this is going to be the second foul.
Yeah, Kanku Koulibaly tangled up there with Ileana Rupert.
Koulibaly might have to come out here now with 2 fouls, 2 consecutive fouls. Nope, she's going to stay in.
Sangare goes out, and Tuti Gandega goes out. Johannes brings a little bit of rain, but it's not good, and that triggers a break because of the long rebound. Great defense by Johannes to get her hands up, because for all intents and purposes, they should have been beaten on that fast break.
Yeah, good job. Nice hustle.
She got her hands up twice.
Yeah, she did.
2 deflections.
Hot goal.
And it doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Again, an offensive rebound and hustle play by Mali. Shot clock's not reset because I don't think the ball hit the rim.
Well, they put it up from the next county. Oh, what a follow. That's like the 3rd time they've gotten the basketball. Nasida Traore.
And again, hustle plays, which is kind of the plays that I expect from this Mali team. If they want to beat someone possibly more talented than they are, how do you beat them? You have to beat them differently, and that's going to be with, giving 100% energy.
What about Berkane? No, you're right. I mean, listen, the great teams win with hustle plays. Never mind the teams that are, you look at the USA over the years, and they've won because they are hustling. There, look at that great defense by Toure. She is setting this Women's World Cup qualifying tournament alight with her fantastic flair and speed and athleticism. Her attacking play, number 44. Oh, bad miss, but the rebound there from Mali, and that gave him a chance, but Koulibaly not able to knock it in.
Siak wanted the ball.
And Johannes for 3. Finally gets to the drop. Maureen Johannes.
Expression on her face also was like, finally. She was 0 for 3 before that from 3-point range.
Well, if there's one thing they are doing overall as a team, France, they're hitting their threes. They are 7 of 13 after that make from Maureen Johannes. So good to see Maureen Johannes get on the board if you're a France fan. It's an 11-point lead.
Cecilia, écran direct, on va les passer pour ailleurs. D'accord? Les défenseurs de l'US qui fait l'écran, aider un peu et rapidement tomber avec elle. D'accord? Et nous, ils ne peuvent faire une autre tir de 3 points. En attaque, on va jouer plus rapide. On va déplacer la balle, travailler la réception de la balle constamment. D'accord? Allez, on va.
So you saw there, both teams shooting the ball exceptionally well. France 57% overall, while Mali are shooting 53%. I mean, really the difference is France are 7 of 13 from 3-point range, while Mali are only 1 for 6. Out of the timeouts and full court pressure here by France. They have forced Mali into 9 turnovers.
Well, here is Mali attacking, and Siak or Rupert. I think is it Siak that got that block? Got 2 skyscrapers in there. 3-point attempt. Koulibaly. And here is a Pupa.
Sherry checking in.
Oh.
For France, and then a turnover. You know, against a player like Ziyech, you got to throw the ball up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, she has the height advantage. You know, I understand what Pupa's thinking, but you got to give her the ball where it's easiest for her to go up and score quickly.
Under a little bit of pressure here. And Nasira Traore is tied up with Kendra Sherry. The games that I've watched Sherry play in the EuroLeague Women this year, she has been very surprisingly good. I mean, she has been right, you know, she hasn't looked out of place is what I mean.
Yeah, I possibly could be biased.
Nice attacking move and earning a trip to the line. But, you know, it's that, I'm guessing that when France are evaluating players and looking at them, if they're able to compete, as you look at the drive again, if they're able to compete in the EuroLeague Women, they're like, well, this player can help us.
And you know, I mean, every team, I understand this summer is a very big summer, it's the World Cup, but especially France, you are starting to think about Paris 2024.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, you know, I think having these young players and giving them an opportunity, it's also preparing them for possibly, you know, being and creating a podium team for Paris 2024. And I was just saying, I do believe I'm possibly biased, but I think, especially this year in FIBA Women's EuroLeague competition, Kendra Sherry should be up and should be being noticed as being Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow. That's
Who,
impressive.
last year, was Gabby Williams.
Right. Look at that. Well, the pass intercepted. So, in other words, you're saying she's out here for her defense more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, and which is a perfect fit for what Coach Tupin likes. So he obviously recognizes it.
Yeah, and they have scorers. They have athletic players. Maybe you need a shutdown defender. You know, don't
take their best player.
Exactly. You know, gives Williams a little bit of break. Oh, good job again by Molly.
Oh, great job by Molly. Koulibaly passing it down low to Kone, who goes up and cuts that deficit back to 8 points. Molly trying to dig on a defense here against Le Bleu. Oh boy, the backdoor cut there. Oh, look, and she shares it. Oh, look at him beautifully how they pass the basketball. Berkani doesn't make the shot, but then Apupa gets the rebound again. Chartreau, and Sherry battles away for the ball, but Kone comes down with it.
I thought that was a very beautiful offensive possession for France. They just weren't able to convert. Berkani called for the foul. Tough foul call. I thought she played pretty good defense on that possession.
Jai. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you saw it at the end. That was a good call. I mean, she had perfect defense until she...
But that's what Tupin is probably telling her. Well, I like the way Molly's playing. I mean, they are... I wasn't in Cameroon for the FIBA Women's AfroBasket last year, but I watched it, and they, even now, are offering some things that make them look even more competitive than they were. And I'm curious what Coach Hewley thinks watching this, or the coach of Nigeria, who's here scouting this game. Because the road to the World Cup goes through Mali effectively for Nigeria, a lot of people think, and they will play on the last day.
Yeah, we mentioned that last game, you know. Obviously today, if Mali can get a win, it'll be huge and a big step forward for qualifying night.
Oh, what a play! That's right, Gantega making the smart play, and Mali getting the high percentage shot. Look at this. Punishes the defense for going out too far. Chartreau.
I believe Gantega is only credited for 3 assists right now in this game.
Yeah.
But she has been creating and doing everything to get her teammates open and the ball at the right spot at the right time.
prendre le tir, mais revenir, rejouer avec la grande, ça fait partie aussi du jeu. Donc le jeu, il n'est pas que sortir, prendre des tirs. On revient, on rentre la balle intérieure et on enchaîne. Ça, on le sait, on sait faire ça. Donc prendre des tirs comme on prend là, ça veut bien. Mais à un moment donné, il reste encore beaucoup plus de temps. On peut rentrer la balle intérieure, bouger autour, transférer derrière. Soyez patients, on joue qu'à une vitesse. Comprends qu'on peut aller plus loin. Ok? Et après là-bas, c'est bataille.
There will be some growing pains as Tufan brings in his philosophy to a younger group overall, group of players. But you also have to respect Mali for what they are as a team. So don't take anything away from Mali. And I think maybe, you know, these teams are a little bit closer than perhaps the wider basketball public would have realized.
Yeah.
And certainly the way they played in this first half, they've really gotten after this French team. Badian keeps it, drives in. I mean, how impressive was that? Traoré goes right at Sherry, and Sherry shows you why she's so highly rated, but then turns it over, needs to perhaps get rid of it.
Yeah, a great defensive play, and then just unfortunately maybe tried to do a little bit too much after she came up with the block. Williams checking back into the game.
Koulibaly has it. Gandega. And to Koulibaly. Kankou, Koulibaly. And then flying in for the offensive rebound and putting it up and in is Kone.
I think that's her second offensive rebound putback so far in this game.
She's getting after it. Mali playing a fearless, we are going after you tonight, France basketball. They are not in awe of Le Bleu. Le Bleu have a lot of talent, a lot of huge reputation, and Mali are coming out and giving them everything they want and more, but then turn it over cheaply. And Badian gives it back to Apupa. Here is Williams, and that is the price, that is the cost of a turnover.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you have a great defensive possession, you come up with the ball, and then you turn it over and give up 3 quick points.
Gandega tries to get it right back, and then coming over the back was Gabby Williams or Chartereau. Yeah, it's going to be on Chartereau. I think that Mali was so hopeful of getting into transition. Here they are inbounding the basketball. Oh, double dribble on Koulibaly. Traoré goes out. Even Chartereau made that call. You see that? He was telling the referee. Potou comes back in. Chartereau for 3.
Miscommunication there defensively by Mali. And another player who, you know, I'm sure Mali had scouted France before, but you cannot leave Chartereau open at the 3-point line.
But look at that, attack, attack, attack. And that leads to another basket from Sangare.
Really, France right now, for me, are having trouble defending the ball.
An offensive foul called on Badian, trying to battle for position. She just clears out, you can see, just kind of used her right arm and kind of shoved her opponent. Gandega, kind of like the head of the snake. He just makes them go. Gets rid of it. And great defense from Badian to take it right away from Herrera. Chartereau passes up to 3, passes it back outside. Badian goes in and out. Mali dodged the bullet there and quickly up ahead the floor. So the final minute and a half of an absolutely terrific first half.
Yeah, so far I've been really impressed with Mali and how they're playing and not really backing down.
Gabby Williams in the open floor. She gets nudged a little bit, was able to pass it to the corner. Looked like maybe Sangare got away with a push. Here's Chartereau catching it down low, and they're going to get a chance for a three-point play.
Good job there by France, realizing the mismatch.
And that's where I suppose you could take issue with Tuti Gandega and you just say, if you're going to foul her, just foul the heck out of her. Don't let her have that basket. And now a potential three-point play. So timeout with 1:01 remaining in the second quarter.
C'est notre seul problème. Les US qui sont seuls, et spécialement les grands joueurs, sont seuls qui font tir confortable. C'est notre unique problème. Personne aidé. Personne aidé. Si nous avons besoin de changer, d'accord, mais chacun avec une ensemble. Si est grand et nous sommes je suis petit, pas de problème. J'ai fait la défense pour delante. La grande défend la petite, va donner pas espace, il va travailler avec les bras. Les suivants attaquent. On va donner les passes au Siga, au Media, pivotos. Les líderes se pagan. Tú le demandes au mec, il joue en contre les panneaux.
So you know, Jeff, minute left in this game. France 43, Mali 32. I think it's so important if you're Mali right here. Okay, there's a free throw being awarded to Chartereau. Go down, get a score, big defensive play, and then try and score again. One thing you don't want to do right now is give up, 3, 4 points, 5 points in this last minute, and then have to go into halftime, really feeling deflated, because this 11 points I don't think is really indicative of what we've seen so far in the first half by Mali.
Yeah, it's just been a couple of tough sequences in this game that have proved very costly. Putting the pressure on. There is tough catch to Kone, able to get it to Njai, and the great defense from France does not even allow a shot.
Yeah, great defensive possession by France coming out of that timeout.
Chartereau guarded a long way from the basket. Fotu drives in. And Chevejon and Mali again survive. Will they hold it for one or attack? No, they're going to hold it. Or are they? Nope, they went too soon, and it's not going to cost them. Well, they got to take the three. They do, and then perhaps that's a little bit of justice for how well they've played to at least get that deficit back to single digits at halftime. Njai was wide open, and you can see beat the shot clock. What a half of basketball, folks. Great stuff from both countries. France lead at 44-35 over Mali.
Yeah, exactly like you said, Jeff. This has been an exciting half of basketball so far. Both teams shooting the ball very well. 54 compared to 65 from 2. For Mali, really three-point shooting has been in France's favor. rebounds, everything is kind of similar. And like you said, Mali down 12 right before that last shot, and they're able to cut it down to 9. And that's more of the kind of game that it's felt like. At moments, Mali have been up. They've really been putting the pressure on France.
They really have. And they went after him, but it's also been fun watching France with Rupert come out, really establish herself quickly from three-point range. Obviously, again, Tuti Gandega has been worth the price of admission.
Yeah, she's been spectacular for Mali, just setting the tone offensively for her team, creating, you know, I said she only has, well, now she has 4 assists to her name. It feels like she should have a lot more. But how about that woman right there? Kone, number 14, I thought has done spectacular things. Just her hustle plays, you know, almost all her points seem like hustle points because she doesn't give up. She doesn't give up on the ball.
So in looking at this, do you think that France have more emphasis on aggressive defense, less emphasis on offensive structure, maybe?
I think definitely that's what they're trying to develop. But I mean, I think Coach Tupan has had maybe 4 or 5 days with the team before their games in November. Then they had 2 games. And I believe they started practicing, you know, 4 days before they came and arrived here. So he hasn't had a lot of times to implement what I'm going to call this new style of play that France is trying to play. A lot more aggressive defensively, you know, they're stepping out right now. I think they're still trying to adjust to how to defend that because they are getting beaten by the guards penetrating to the basket and then finding the right passes by Mali. Offensively, you see them playing, in my opinion, with a lot more freedom. I think they're settling maybe a little bit too much for outside shots. I know they're shooting the ball well, but 9 of 18 three-point range, which 50% is incredible from 3. Don't get me wrong, but they've only attempted 13 shots from 2. So they're not really being aggressive. They're not getting the ball inside the paint. They're not really looking for their post players. I mean, you also have Rupert and Chartreux who are hitting shots. Badian's shooting 3s from outside, so they're post players. So it is a little bit different. It's not really what we've seen. They do have 12 turnovers. So maybe playing a little bit too careless at times instead of, you know, slowing it down and playing fundamental basketball.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Something that was desperately needed by Nigeria, and I'm being fired. And rattles it in, and look at the bench go wild.
That was beautiful from Emma Boss.
Trying to get past Guapmi, the feed to Hellman, blocked by Melendez. Daira plays bigger than she is. USA working around the horn. Haley Jones, we haven't gotten to see a lot of one-on-one work from her, but wow, what a move!
Nice steal by Delic. And she's off to the races. She passes it off to Tavic. And a nice fast break basket there from Bosnia. And you see the emotion early in this game.
Wickham, no look pass, Ayacucho!
Pretty pass by Sammy Wickham. Jade Melbourne is absolutely loving it. The 19-year-old enjoying being here.
Sees Elder down that low post, decides to give her behind pass Al Gadawi nails that perimeter, Jay, and what a play between Musa and El Gadawi. The no-look pass for the shot.
For God's sakes. We'll get the replay coming up for you here, Natalia. She inbounds it right off the bum of Pellington and lays it in.
The handoff to Bentley. Shot clock winding down. She makes the trap. She gets over the space. She puts it up. Oh! She's made the shot. It is heartbreak for Spain. What a shot, Bentley. She was able to get loose. Look at the celebrations from Belarus for the first time ever.
Bukaro at the baseline. She throws a wild one up. Oh my goodness! Evelyn Bukaro!
We have about a 2-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Julie Alban, and it's good! What a big-time shot from a big-time player.
(44-35), France on top of Mali at halftime. For Mali, Sika Kone has just been, we haven't really said enough about her overall. I mean, her overall contribution, 16 points. That should be it for the game, right? She's got it in the first half. And a lot of that is just this kind of stuff right here. Just being quick to the ball, putting it up and in.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, she's shooting 100% right now, and she's just aggressive. She's fighting. She's giving her team energy. But, you know, this is Kone. She's not an unusual player for Mali. She's been in their system for a long time. I think the last Afro basket last summer, she was second leading scorer for Mali. So she is definitely someone who you should know and expect to be scoring for her team.
And meanwhile, Ileana Rupert getting a chance to kind of stand out with the veterans, some of the veterans missing, and she has taken full advantage.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, 3 for 3 from three-point range in the first half. Not first forcing her shots either.
A lot to like about what we have seen from both Mali and France in the first half.
Yeah, I think had you asked me before the game, do I think that it would be only a 9-point lead for France, I would have said no. But I've been incredibly impressed with Mali the first 20 minutes. Can they continue to play at this level where, you know, France's best players, Ileana Rupert, only played 11 minutes, where meanwhile you have Kone, and Chuti Gandega, you know, playing in the 16-minute area. That, at the end of the day, could really set you back going into the fourth quarter if you're Mali.
I'll tell you something else is interesting. Second highest rated player efficiency-wise for France is Touré. And she's had a wonderful first half. 9 points, perfect from the floor. Also has a couple of steals, doing it at both ends. And I think kind of fits the profile of the type of player that, not necessarily run and gun, but somebody that likes to play the open court game and is not going to stand around. She is going to attack.
Yeah, she definitely came in, I thought, gave France defensively and offensively a big boost, and kind of making her statement too, like, you know, I know I'm a 3x3 player, but maybe I can play at this next level for France moving forward.
You know, it's interesting. The two players that I would have expected to come out and really make an impact, Fotukes and Apupa, are a combined 0 points, 3 assists, and 4 turnovers. All 4 turnovers for Apupa. So it's been a little bit of a rough go for her. She does have the 1 steal. Chartereau has been really good. So, you know, I think there's overall a lot to like. And you would imagine that Fotukes and Apupa would fit nicely in this system. And Johannes, kind of a quiet 5 points and 3 assists, but overall, solid game for her. She missed a few shots, but overall, solid effort.
But again, I mean, you know, what we're seeing, all 12 players have played for France. So it shows you how deep they are. And, you know, maybe some games players will play more, some players will play less, or maybe we'll continue to see, you know, him really trying to give opportunities and see what the future of France basketball could look like to these younger players.
3 of the 4 teams in this group will advance to the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in Sydney. That'll be September 22nd to October 1st, and it is going to be an amazing event. So if you're thinking about going, I would go ahead and say book your ticket, get your tickets, book your ticket. Well, you can't buy your tickets yet because you don't know. But it's going to be a big event, and no surprise that China are here as well as Nigeria scouting this game, as they will play both teams. Very important games here in Serbia, both in terms of not only qualifying for the World Cup, but seedings, you know, for the draw, for rankings points, for a chance for players to prove that they are good enough to be in the team when the teams do go to the World Cup. And from France's standpoint, additional time for their players to get valuable experience, their young players to get valuable experience, not just, you know, for the overall program, for the FIBA Women's Eurobasket qualifiers, for the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, and also, as you alluded to, for Paris 2024. So it's kind of the dawn, I think, we're witnessing the dawn of a new era of French women's basketball, and for my money, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot of these players will be seeing them compete in 2024, which is exciting, and they are young, so for them to be getting experience right now, you know, you have Ileana Rupert, she's only 20, Jeff. You have Kendra Sherry, 20. Fotukes is 21. That's exciting to think about the future of France.
It's very exciting, and you know, their biggest nemesis really over the years has been Spain, and to me it looks like they're kind of like, I'm not saying they're trying to copy Spain, but they're playing more like Spain played, that up and down game, that harassing game. And maybe France has better athletes, and they could end up being better at that type of game than what we've seen from Spain, and that's saying something.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think, yeah, you see that little bit of, you know, freedom offensively, taking some risks like Spain has done, and then also defensively trying to get up, force some steals, force some turnovers. Yeah, you're right. I think, what was it, since 2013, Spain have had the upper hand on France since 2013.
Although Spain would like to forget what happened last summer when they hosted the FIBA. They were one of the joint hosts with France as the FIBA Women's Eurobasket, and obviously fell on opening night to Belarus, and then ended up getting to the quarterfinals and falling. So they have not made it to the Women's World Cup qualifiers And sometimes maybe that's not a bad thing overall. You need to kind of reorganize, and we saw the last time that happened to Spain when they missed out in the 2012 Olympics. They struck back with a vengeance. Second half action is now underway here in Belgrade, and France immediately getting the ball down low to Siak. Fotuk starting and clearing out, and the foul called on Siak, hooking.
So again, France going with a different starting lineup. I mean, I think that's pretty good defense.
Good call. Yep.
You know, I understand what Siak's trying to do, but in my opinion, I think that was a good call by the ref. So Fotuk's getting the start, along with Johannes.
No hesitation by the ref on that call. Here is the ball batted out of bounds. So there'll be 12 seconds on the shot clock. Crucial when you're trailing at halftime, especially to have a good start here in the third quarter. Here's Gandega, and excellent rebound. Great block by France. And now the great defense offered yet again by Mali. That was Sangare that got it right back. Both of these teams not giving too much away defensively, that's for sure. Look at that, reaching over. Rupert forcing the turnover. Ball went off of Torreira's hands. Johannes has it, tries to get it. So France have basically come out a couple of times and tried to get that, trying to get the pivot Siak involved offensively. So they don't want to be one-dimensional. They want to make sure they also utilize some of the other aspects. She's big and talented.
Yeah, she is, and I think, you know, that was definitely something that they talked about at halftime, getting the ball inside and not just settling for shots. Even though they are shooting a better percentage from three than they are two, you still can't.
Well, Tupan would love the defense that Siak just played there. So that was, now with 6 seconds on the shot clock, Mali are going to have to hurry. They do get it in bounds, and they do hurry, and they miss everything. Oh, they reset the shot clock. I wasn't sure it hit the rim.
But no one's complaining, so.
And what a play. Oh, yes.
So it was a shot clock violation, and I think
it was delayed.
The ref is the one who noticed that.
That they had reset the shot clock, and they shouldn't have, yeah.
It was a good call, in my opinion. I don't think the ball touched anything.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think he hit the backboard, that missed three-pointer. So good job by the Polish referee. Fotuk's working against Gandega. Gabby Williams to Siak.
Again, good job trying to go inside. I mean, obviously with Siak and with Rupert, I think France has a big height advantage in the paint.
So utilize it.
Exactly.
Oh no, it was a 24-second. Yeah, that's right. So we were right, yeah. They missed the rim, that's why they called that. So the ball into Johannes. Foul on Rupert. Fighting for position. Yeah, good call. She's so tall that when she put her arm back, it automatically went over the Malian defender.
I think it's good defense by Mali as well, you know.
Oh, boy, what a tough player. Able to get that basketball back when it looked like it was going to be a turnover. And that's why you hustle and get after it the way that Koulibaly did. Instead of giving away the turnover, she fought for the basketball, passed it back outside, and they got a layup.
Good job there by Koulibaly attacking, I believe it was Siak.
Oh, great job again. This time, Kone getting a hand on it. It's not just about the scoring for her. Just a 7-point game right now. Crucial stage of the game for Mali.
And you do, you know, I think it's obvious that Coach Tupan asked his players to try and get the ball inside. But so far, I believe that they're defending Siak well, Mali. You know, individually, but also help. I don't think passes are that easy. So maybe France needs to also, I understand, you know, think about getting the ball to Siak, but you still have to remember what your other strengths are.
Oh, wow. And that's one of them right there.
Definitely
Johannes.
is one of them.
Not necessarily a three-pointer, but
yeah,
just say,
getting
Marine,
her the ball.
just take care of this trip down. Whatever you have to do, get us some points, and she hit a 3. Here goes Tootie.
Tootie.
Tootie Vendega stay at this end. The other thing is, don't forget Brizuela. Joaquin Brizuela was appointed coach of Mali last summer, coached him at the AfroBasket Women, so he's had more time now to instill his philosophy.
Yeah, a little bit more time than
and I'm thinking
Coach
if I'm Coach Hewley of Nigeria, I'm watching this thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a tough fight to get to the World Cup.
Yeah, you know, we talked about that in the last game, Nigeria, when they took on China, how possibly the game of the tournament for Mali and Nigeria will come on Sunday, and the winner of that game could be the one with the ticket to Australia.
Yeah, although you never know, Mali might turn around in their next game and beat China. Nigeria, I think they will grow from their first encounter. They'll be more confident coming up against France, but I think more realistically, everybody expects that to be the game. And Mali get it back now. They're going to go, I was going to say they're going to go fast, but Kone almost lost it. And she's just going to go. And Gabby Williams is going to get the block, but the motor on Kone is something to behold, isn't it? Look at her go. Being guarded there by Chartereau, fouled.
Being fouled by Chartereau.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chartereau was guarding. Alexia has been appointed captain of this team. Imagine being 23 years old and you're the captain of your national team.
Interesting what thought process goes into that. Here's a great move, and oh boy, the shot was there from Sangare, but she didn't knock it down. And oh boy, it was a tough one because Williams goes right to the other end and scores.
Good job staying aggressive there by Gabby Williams. Now a 12-point lead for France. They've picked up their intensity, I feel like, the last few minutes, well, since this quarter started, really.
I want to ask you about that captaincy thing, but when we get a second, you look at Gabby Williams, that great hustle at the other end. Here is Traoré calling the play. There's Kone going to work. Oh boy, she is just, that is going up against Siak.
Yeah.
For goodness me, for goodness sake. Okay, are they giving the points to the wrong team? 49-37. Here is Siak, and she scores. I thought it was closer. Okay, now it's. Great defense from Fotux. Oh, I guess that's right. So Tootie Gandega being hounded by Fotux. Here's Kone again. Oh boy, what a great catch. And look at her battle. I mean, Kone all knocked to the ground. She gets up.
Talk about sacrificing your body for your team.
So you talk about Chartereau being named captain. Is that because she's going to be around? Do you even know? Is it the team that or the coach? But how do you come to that? You know, she's 23, but you know she's going to be a part of the program for a long time, and also watching her go about her business in the training camp and whatever, getting ready, watching her this season. They just see real captaincy material. I guess there must be a lot of thought process that goes into that. It's not a random decision, is it?
No, you know, I'm sure there was a lot of thought process by the coaching staff. When you are missing Endimiam, Sandrine Gruda.
Unbelievable hustle by Sangare and Mali, but they're not able to get it, and Sangare looks like she might be injured. Let's hope it's not serious.
Look too serious. Something is definitely
with
hurting
her left
her.
leg around the knee. That's a shame.
Nothing you ever like to see.
No, I mean, she was laying all out.
Sonia, Canada.
Yeah, one of the FIBA photographers. Getting some great photos. And the Mali players are looking on concerned.
So you're right, Jeff. It does look like it's her left knee of sorts.
She can't put any weight on it. I'm hopeful that it would be more of the calf or something, but what does that tell you if she can't put any weight on it?
Her right shoe is off.
So, yeah, that's strange.
Well, we hope it's just, you know.
Let's hope that we've got it completely wrong and it's an ankle,
exactly, or
twisted ankle or something.
And you know, it's kind of your first initial fear, pain that goes through your head, but then after you get to calm down, it's not as serious. I mean, obviously for Mali moving on, this is definitely an important player for them, sorry. So you hope she will be back tomorrow and Sunday.
We'll see how that impacts them in this game. It's not going to help, you wouldn't think. Gabby Williams. Sometimes when your teammate goes down, you play even harder. Here's Gandega passing it to Kone. And boy, that just kind of illustrates that point right there.
Yeah, people need to step up.
I'm not so sure that Kone might not be the best player in this game today, the way that she's gone after everything. Her intensity is off the charts. Here she is battling away with Badian down low, not giving up the baseline, forcing her to pass it back outside. Now Fotu gets it back to Badian.
Nice defense. Great defensive possession there by Mali.
And ball's wrapped up.
Sangare at this last Afro basket played around 20 minutes a game for them, so she's definitely a significant contributor to this national team. Berkany and Torre, who had that great first half for Spain. Badian turns the ball over, though. Good defense by
Kone.
And here she is just working so hard.
She is. That's it. That's the best way to put it. She's working hard.
Yeah.
And that time got herself into trouble and turned it over. Now Bakane. And Gandega reaches in.
Might have got away with a foul. Maybe Berkany trying to do a little bit too much. Here we'll take a look. She had a lot of ball.
Good defense.
It's a missed opportunity there for France. You know, you had maybe more of a 2-on-1 situation instead of trying to go 1-on-1.
Kone plays in Spain, in the Liga Femenina. Gran Canaria, now the turnover for Cani. Bounce pass, intercepted, and that's why you hustle back on D. Great job, Tuti Gandega. Here she goes, and that was short. And the ball goes to this end, stays at this end. Foul called on France, a hold.
Yeah, good job. Nice, few possessions there. Defensively by Mali, Tuti Gandega, 2 defensive possessions. You saw Koulibaly come back and actually get the steal. Missed a 3-point shot, but hustle plays again by these Mali players that are leading to them getting other opportunities and keeping this game within reach.
You talk about promising futures, some of for France and their players. How old do you think Sika Kone is? She's 19.
Yeah.
So she is an absolute, I say this as a compliment, beast out there.
And I believe she's been in, you said Gran Canarias. She's
Yeah.
been there for a few years now, playing against professional athletes.
Right.
Professional basketball players. So you could definitely see her progression. She does not play like she's a 19-year-old. Let's put it that way.
I see what you mean.
And I think it's because she has been playing on the professional team in Gran Canarias for a few years now.
Living in the Canary Islands will bring the best out of anybody. Here is Badian. How smooth is she? Wow. Great play by Badian. This is the drive, and great work again. Terreira, the captain, earns a trip to the line.
And Jeff, watching the press conferences yesterday, France with Coach Tupan and also Gabby Williams was in the press conference, and what they were talking about, and every team is in the same situation. Gabby goes, well, we don't really have any scouting on these teams. There was no real preparation games before this. The last time Mali played was at the Afrobasket in October, I believe, late September, October, I believe it was. So France had 2 games in November for the Eurobasket qualifications, but everyone's in the same situation. You don't have any scouting. So come Sunday, yeah, teams will be a little bit more scouted, but this first game, and maybe you're seeing that here today with the kind of performance by Kone, maybe they didn't have an opportunity to really scout her.
So really the worst time to play Mali is the first game.
Exactly.
Because everybody else will now have the scout. Toure back in the game. So is Apupa. Apupa at the elbow.
Apupa missed last summer, more or less all of last summer. I think she played 1 game for France at Eurobasket.
Yeah, she sprained her ankle, right?
And then she sprained her ankle. She was out the rest of the summer, so she wasn't Futux, got the call up for their bronze medal from the Olympics, and then she also injured herself just before their games in November. So I think she's still, and we're maybe seeing that here today, she's still getting a feel for Coach Tupan and his new style of play as well.
Interesting that Mali are going to ask for a timeout here after just scoring. And traveling is the call. Badian. France have not put this thing away yet.
And this might be a strategic timeout called here by Brezuela, Coach Brezuela from Mali. His players are playing a lot of minutes, and maybe he wants to just give them a little 1.5, 2-minute break before the end of the third, because I do think, and I'm sure he feels as well, this game is, they could win it. And I'm telling you, if they can win this game, their chances of qualifying for Sydney become that much greater.
No doubt about it.
On drapeau. On va essayer de jouer un contre un pour faire s'en sortir de si Kandje fait à l'épagne. Il y a aidé sur la balle à tutti, o Dama, o fundamentalmente pour salir les pieds des trois
Oh, famous faces in the crowd and fans and you name it. They're all here watching. What, you know, if we were more impressed with France in the first half, obviously we've been more impressed by Mali certainly in the second half. They've outscored France in this third quarter. And they have been relentless. They just keep playing hard every possession. So Cantega. Boy, look at the good defense, and the veteran not able to knock down the jumper. Torreira. Adrian pulls up on the break. I'm not sure Tupon liked that shot early in the shot clock, and Njai drives in. And look at the follow, Torreira. Good job by Chartereau. Well, how about that? Adama Coulibaly, her first points of the game, a three.
It might have been a long two, but good job by Mali.
It was a two, you're right.
And Coulibaly knocking down that shot. But let's talk about that shot by Badian, Jeff. I'm not sure that's what they needed right now. Yes, she was open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you need right there.
That's what you need,
down low.
Absolutely. You have the advantage down low. You have the advantage, you know, when they move the ball and they look for, like he said in the first half in a timeout, you see him here talking to Badian, you know, and I think he's showing her the time and score as well. You need to play smarter. You need to play smarter if you want to, you know, be a next level team.
Well, she's not a youngster. She's 27.
No, been away from the national team for a little while. She missed all of last season. She had a child. Currently plays for Asvel, Lyon, along with many of these players for France.
So Mali trying to keep the pressure on. Here's Tudi Cantega and the kick. It's an 8-point game right now. Siak, the veteran, getting her hair ready to go back in, it appears. I remain impressed by both of these teams. I know that you would expect France maybe to really put on the afterburners in the second half, but the fact is this Mali team is not a team that stops playing. Now, good rebound, Chartereau, and France fortunate that Apupa was able to control it for a second there, and then Mali had to knock it out of bounds. So they've got 19 seconds. 7.1 seconds, though, on the shot clock. 19 seconds in the game, on the game clock. Or excuse me, this is the game clock. Oh, they get a three-pointer. Touré. So that, in fact, is the game clock, and that is it.
Good job there by Migne Touré. What a big basket, and a basket that France really needed.
Boy, Touré's been good. France and Mali have been good. France lead it 58-47. So France ended up winning that quarter 14-12 because of that shot, Shona.
And still great shooting by both teams. France shooting an incredible 52% compared to just 13%. But they're also taking a lot more three-pointers. They're also taking a lot more three-pointers than Mali. Mali knows that that's not their strength. We need to get the ball inside. You know what worries me a little bit? We just saw Migne Touré. How come Migne Touré hasn't attempted a shot before that? She was 3 of 3 in the first half. She's been in for a few minutes now. Didn't even get one look, didn't attack the basket, didn't try and shoot, and now she's 4 for 4, 12 points, but that her first shot in that quarter came with 3 seconds left.
She only shot it because she had to.
Exactly.
So maybe finding her way in the offense, or maybe the design is not for her, I don't know. So maybe a little bit of adjustment for the players under Coach Tupon. You get the feeling that the Malians know exactly how their coach wants them to play, and they are giving this team a real battle.
And I honestly cannot say enough about Kone.
Yeah, oh, she's incredible. Well, folks, let us remind you that for complete coverage of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournaments, don't hesitate to go to the official FIBA website, where you'll find comprehensive blend of content, latest news, live stats, photo galleries, and video highlights. It's all there. And that's exactly what that man right there is looking at. I think that was Jorge Garbajosa, the Spanish great. And fourth quarter action underway here in Belgrade. Oh boy, great D from Epupa, reached up and then has it knocked away because she didn't know what to do with the ball.
Yeah, I think she dribbled when she tried to steal it, so then she felt like her dribble was dead and no one talked to her.
Njai was able to get it back. And Carrera able to chase it down. Here's Njai again. Gets to the baseline, outside for three. Good! Wow!
Big three-point shot there by Coulibaly, and they're not going away.
Coulibaly is not cooling off. 9 minutes remaining. And holding is called on Adama Coulibaly. So Coulibaly picks up her second foul. Toure has the ball kicked, so to stay at this end with 14 on the shot clock. That was such a big shot by Toure at the end of the third quarter, and the way that Mali stayed with it on that possession to get a three right at the end of the shot clock, you know, has lifted their spirits. There's Rupert. Oh boy, that's a quality move.
Great move, and I think that's a good job. Nice possession there by France to get the ball inside.
Gandega really marshaling the troops out there as point guard. And tough drive, Tereda. Wow.
And again, like you mentioned it, Jeff, these guys are not going away. They are not backing down. You know, you kind of thought at what point possibly would Mali start to rest their players maybe a little bit and think about that nice move by Toure.
You just, there comes a time when quality just wins. And that was blazing quick move by Toure. And now Mali have turned it over cheaply. So Toure has played well in the first half, and now she's come out and played very well in her limited minutes in the second.
5 for 5, 14 points for Minya Toure tonight.
And she's, here's Johannes hitting a three. Very comfortable just to come out and, oh, by the way, don't forget about me. I'm going to hit a three. As well and as hard as Mali, who are number 40 in the FIBA Women's World Rankings, as well as they've played against number 5 France. This French team is still up double digits, and Gandega, Tuti Gandega, doesn't hit the rim, so that ball is dead.
So again, 2 turnovers in a row for Mali, and they're not getting defensive stops. So now this lead is up to 13 for France. 7 minutes left, still lots of time, especially with the way and the runs that we have seen both these teams be able to make. The game by no means is comfortably in France's hands.
I think for the first time tonight, though, I'm hearing Allez la Bleu from the crowd. Johannes, will it be 2 in a row? Not so fast. Quick outlet, and then Johannes reaches in and fouls Mali's number 50, Djeneba Njai.
I think Mali might have got not away with one, but lucky that Johannes didn't hit that shot. Nice offense, which led to an open 3-point shot attempt by Johannes, who was open and had just hit one the possession before, hit a 3-pointer the possession before. So they're actually going to call this an unsportsmanlike foul, but they're going to review it.
Right. Well, they're not sure. They think that it was, but that's where they have the advantage of the technology to be able to go and look at it. And you saw right there. Here it is. What you're looking at here is what the referees are looking at. Oh yeah, you can see why they would want to look at that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
What a tough.
I mean, a tough call. It definitely was a foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it slowed down the fast break, and she probably could have had a 2-point basket.
Well,
Video was conclusive.
Oh, conclusive. They're going to call it.
Free unsportsmanlike foul, 2-point possession.
Are they calling it because it's a dangerous play? So unsportsmanlike foul gives a little life to Mali. They will get 2 shots and possession.
Yeah, not a dangerous play, Jeff. It's more, you know, you can't foul in fast break in transition anymore. Yeah, since a few years now, so I understand why they called it.
Well, you can foul just as long as you're going for the ball, right?
Even if you make a play on the ball and it's an open fast break, it'll be an unsportsmanlike.
Okay.
We need to ask the referees tonight for their exact definition.
Ça me trop risque à ménater. Non, pas trop risque. Pas beaucoup risque. Le juge pourrait s'allier, prendre la balle. Dans l'attaque, on peut le laisser l'attaque. Nous devons aller toujours à l'épanneau. Signer tous les semaines, fini. Sinon, jouer sans ballon. Donner la balle pour le sailler les tirs. Oh, cambier la défense, aller au travers à l'épanneau. Mais constantement, nous devons être plus offensifs. Offensifs, allez, c'est chaud. Allez, c'est chaud. Allez, c'est chaud. Allez, c'est chaud.
So game day 1, France leading at 65-52 over Mali. 5th in the FIBA ranking are the French women. And look at that, Goran wearing the French mask. Have to get one of those. And meanwhile, Njai fouled. She's a good shooter. She goes to the line. And makes both. And now will be possession. 3-pointers haven't been their strength in this game, but if they were to hit a 3, that would be a 5-point trip down the floor. That would be huge. But I think they'll take whatever they can get. Tuti Gandega, guarded closely by Apupa. And good defense in the end by France and Chartereau, impeding the progress of Koulibaly. Johannes, wow, not able to get it. Great defense again by Njai. And another foul, this one on Epupa. I am not at all convinced that when China play this Mali team, it's going to be straightforward, and the same for Nigeria, the way they continue to go after it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. I've been pleasantly surprised by how well this Mali team has played. And it's not, you know, so they're going to review this and see if it's an unsportsmanlike as well.
Well, because stopping the fast break, it's been their best offense here recently. You get the steal, go down, get fouled.
I mean, I guess if the same principles apply, she wasn't going towards the basket.
What we are reviewing the contact, the point of contact. Yes, can we go slow motion here? Yes. Okay, so it's lateral. Now it's conclusive that it is lateral, so the criteria is C4 now. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So we upgrade to unsportsmanlike foul. Number 50 is the shooter, 0 foul.
Okay, so we confirm that you have 0 white, shooter is 50, red, shooter, and
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think the French bench is going to be happy when they see this.
Like we were saying, Jeff, I mean, if you go with the same principles as Marine Joanna's foul the previous possession, yeah, I understand why they upgraded that to an unsportsmanlike as well. We will come back to you tomorrow and tell you exactly the definition of an unsportsmanlike foul in a transition type situation.
So she only makes 1 of 2. So not a, yep, and Mali keeping it live, and they only get 1 point on that trip down the floor.
Kone,
Not
unaware.
an unsportsmanlike is just not a legitimate attempt to play the ball within the spirit and intent of the rules, and that could be what they're calling. Also, excessive hard contact caused by a player in an effort to play the ball or an opponent.
I would like a ref to really, you know.
Okay, so what? I'm not good enough for you? Is that what it is? I'll just get up and leave. Shall I go get the referee to come up?
Technical term, okay, fine.
Hey, Michael, come up here and do this job. Talk to Shona. I'll do the refereeing from now on. Here comes Johannes. Drives down, another turnover, another fast break opportunity. Will the foul be made? And this time, you see, that's what they have to do. Is just let them try to finish it, and they turn it around, or they turn it over. Bounce pass had a little bit too much zip on it. Ten-point game still. Mali have outscored France by a point in this quarter. Chartereau. We're back to the basket game. Oh, she palmed it, yeah.
Sage Bravo, she got called for the carry.
Watch this. I'm not sure about that one either. Well,
a couple tough calls for France recently.
Well, we'll be quiet now. Let's listen.
Vous n'avez pas conscience que c'est une finale, ça, qu'on joue là? Vous êtes conscient de ça? On se relâche surtout. Et ils vont jouer leur bateau jusqu'au bout. Donc quand on dit on fait un pic direct ici, on joue là, on donne intérieur, on s'applique jusqu'au bout, bordel! Merde! Il y a 6 minutes à tenir, on fait n'importe quoi! Faut se réveiller un peu! C'est pas fini là!
So, you heard it. Not sure Coach Tupon is too happy with the way his team has played in the last few possessions. He has to be happy with them defensively, though. I mean, they've, you know, turned the ball over, but they've got back and defended.
Gabby Williams just took the ball right away. Took it right away from Molly. And Gabby Williams is now just thrown in a dagger from close to the left corner.
So a good substitution there during that timeout to put Gabby Williams in. Comes up with a steal and then hits a 3 on the other side.
Njai, that's short. Oh, she just takes it away. I mean, she just kind of snuck up on her, didn't she? Just took it right away. I can't believe I just saw that. She has been a thief tonight in this second half. She's going to check her steals. Yeah, she's got 3 steals.
Oh, yeah. Nice pass and catch from Chartreuse to Siak. Chartreuse reading the needle. Look at this. Ipupa does the exact same thing that just happened to her, except she's not able to convert.
Tudi Gandega and Tereda there for the offensive rebound, but isn't able to follow through. But yet another pick. And Kone fouled as she goes up. Oh boy, if that had gone in, that would have been and one. Is it symptomatic that France would turn it over because of the type of game they want to play? They want to push it quickly?
No, I think this is bad decision making by players and maybe being a little too lackadaisical. Can I say that?
Yeah.
You know, I think they're a little bit too free, which, you know, they've already played 35, 36 minutes of this game. You know that Mali is going to be aggressive. They're going to get up. They're going to try and defend. They're going to try and go for steals. And France have not adjusted. I mean, I think right now they have, Jeff, they have 27 turnovers.
Yeah.
27 turnovers, and you're still up double digits.
Yeah. But 27, it's never a good, never an excuse for 27 turnovers.
27 turnovers. I mean, 6 turnovers by Ipupa. Sorry, 7 turnovers by Ipupa. That's just uncharacteristic. And it's also, you know, I'm sure Coach Supan is going to say it's unacceptable. You're missing 27 opportunities.
Well, during that free throw, he just went over and patted her on the back and said, don't worry about it, we'll get him. So he's got her back. And there is Gabby Williams just coming out, and I think removing any doubt about who's going to win this game with her contributions in the last couple minutes.
Kone's been quiet, actually, the last few minutes, but there, good job by her driving and drawing the foul.
It's not surprising considering how much effort she has expended tonight. I mean, yeah, that's a definite foul on Gabby.
And this is, you know, another thing, Jeff, that at what point, I understand there's still 3 minutes and 38 seconds. It'll be hard to come back and win this game. But they have a game tomorrow against China, and after watching this Mali team, I think they can give China a very good run for their money. I think
because they're going to play tougher.
Upset.
They're going to play tougher defense than what Nigeria offered today. They're going to harass
Exactly.
them.
That's what I think. And I think right now they've also proved to us that they can play more aggressive, tougher, smarter defense. But I also think compared to what we saw of Nigeria today, these Mali players are more talented offensively as well.
Right.
This is just what we saw in one game from Nigeria. So at what point do you kind of say, all right, I need to rest and prepare my players for tomorrow because Gandega 32 minutes, Kone 32.
Yeah.
De pied, de bras, de tout. Pour essayer de voler la balle et à l'autre année rapidement, d'accord? Mais avec les pliés en condition. Après, s'il y a aidé, sort la balle, sinon, non. Sinon, faute de la séparation. Ok, c'est la dernière option.
Let's go, guys, let's go!
What's great about this, Shona, is that, you know, for teams like Mali especially and Nigeria, is that they're getting to play teams from Europe from Asia more frequently, from the Americas, and I think that is
will grow the
that'll
game
help
of
them
basketball.
as opposed to
agree
just
with
playing them every 2 years or 4 years. You know?
If they qualify, yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Jeff. I think.
So when you assess the overall meaning of what these qualifiers do, there are a lot of positives.
Yeah.
I'm not just speaking it from a FIBA angle. I mean, that's just the reality. You need to bear that in mind. Here is Johannes. Fotux steps inside.
Williams.
She has
came
been
out of nowhere.
She's been at a different level since she came in. The repair misses. Look at Williams again. I guess she's just been bursting with energy to get into game, and she's letting it all out right now.
Exactly. I mean, she was on the bench for a while. She started the third quarter, but she should be rested. She's only played 20 minutes tonight.
Do you think Tupon just said, okay, Gabby, just go in and kill it off?
Take over.
Ooh. Good concentration there by Fotux. Repair. I mean, she's complaining that she was fouled, but what I find interesting also, Tupon, in the second, maybe throughout the game, but more so in the second half, is he's just gone with basically a group of players for a long period. So some of the players that were red hot early on,
we haven't seen in a while.
Like Repair. And Gabby Williams. She looks like the best player on the court since she came in, doesn't she?
Oh, absolutely. Everything that she's been doing so far. 2 threes, offensive rebound.
Oh, what a spin move from Siak! Siak on the attack. Koulibaly. Oh, how did she make that? A runner and fouled. Siak, I don't think, can quite believe that she made it. And Gabby Williams as well. Who have they called the foul on? And she makes the three-point play. They called it on Gabby. So that breathes a little bit of life back into Mali, but they are going to need still a minor miracle to win this one. And they dump it down low to Siak.
Again, an assist by Williams, who's really, since she checked into the game a minute and a half ago, 2 minutes ago, has really been the game changer.
Yeah, she has.
And has helped extend this lead that France has right now.
Gandega gets it, and Kone fouled as she goes up. But Mali have continued to play. They haven't stopped. They've been fighting. It's a really good expression.
Yeah.
Or it's a good, I don't want to say, the optics are good for them. Good representation from Mali in basketball tonight. It's been a good night for Mali in basketball.
Absolutely.
It'll come to me after I go to bed. I'll dream it. That's what I meant to say. France closing in on victory on opening day of the qualifiers. Gandega reaches in, commits the foul. Does Frederick Fotux go to any of your games to watch his daughter play? Marine?
A little tough when he is an assistant coach with Asvel Villeurbanne, the men's team, EuroLeague team in France. So
he has to settle for TV.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of time.
And Siak called for the foul. I guess they're calling the trip, looking at that replay. Or that's what they thought they saw, so.
Bonus opportunity. And again, you know, we've talked about this in the other 2 games today. Jeff, you know, points for and against, I think, are going to become really critical at the end of this tournament. So you want to try and keep the score as close as possible in case there is a tie, and that turns into being the tiebreaker.
You're right. A little bit of music come out of nowhere there. Now here comes Gabby Williams again, as France, again, 75 seconds. Gabby Williams falls down after the three, but pops up. Ooh, Fotukes has to watch the elbows. Here's Johannes. And Johannes, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a shot, the runner. They're gonna, I think they can look at that.
Yeah, I think they can make sure it was off on time.
I'm not convinced that it was.
Me neither.
But it was a dazzling attempt by Marine Johannes. What's Michael saying? Let's make this call and get out of here and get some dinner. Let's get the review session. No basket. But they're going to look at it. Well, I'm sure the Marine won't mind. I mean, the thing is, if they've got the proof, okay, yeah, so they've got the proof, they can decide.
So video is very conclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ball's still in her hand.
Okay.
Yeah, not even close. I didn't think it was that conclusive. I didn't think it was that obvious.
I thought it was a little bit closer, but the ball was clearly still in her hands, down low, not even, you know.
So vital points. Again, you talk about goal differential. And
this is only an 11-point game. There's 55 seconds. I mean, if you had a Reggie Miller on your team, it would. Problem is they're not shooting the ball incredibly well from three.
How about, no, you're right.
You know, good three-point shooting team, maybe a little bit easier.
Okay, that was a foul. Fotukes saying, how come you're not calling it a sportsmanlike on that? She just grabbed my jersey. So that's what she's saying. If you look at her, she walks up to the ref.
So Molly here, I think you want to play strong defense, but I'm not sure I would foul in this situation, to be honest.
They want to get the fouls up, so clearly they're trying to manage the feet. But see, that's dangerous.
You don't want
right
to foul
there.
because right now you don't want France to have an opportunity to score again.
You also don't want to commit an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she's telling Tuti Gandega right now. Do it again, and I'm going to slap you with an unsportsmanlike. Now get back there and play some defense.
But for me, you know, it's not about fouling. It's about stealing and playing strong, aggressive defense. But just trying to get a stop and then go down, try and get another score to get that margin of victory down a little bit for France.
Ooh, great recovery, a little bit of body, and the ball goes out. So great hustle. Kone was offering a hand to Williams to come up, but she didn't take it. She took her teammate's hand to get it up. So here is Molly trying to get the last basket of the game. And trying to cut that deficit. Gandega inside, spins, puts it up, and can't get it to drop. But what a fantastic basketball game overall. Maybe dropped off a little bit of tiredness at the end, but the coaches congratulate each other, and Tupan, maybe his team didn't play as well as he'd liked in the second half, but you know, we saw some really good stuff from him and his players, some of his youngsters, some of his veterans, and we saw an incredible effort tonight from Mali going up against a team that's ranked 35 spots higher in the FIBA World Rankings. But France win it 77-66 over Mali. Well, Shona, we talk about presenting a good image of yourself, and Mali did that tonight. They showed they are a different team under Coach Brizuela. They came out tonight, and again, they really pushed the #5 team in the FIBA Women's World Rankings to the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did it offensively and defensively. Both teams shot the ball really well. Again, Mali, not that great from the three-point range. And really, it was a three-point shooting that France that gave them this kind of incredible
33
lead.
more points from three-point range.
And look at this. I mean, they out-rebounded France. Not too far off on assists. Turnovers, they forced for it. I don't want to say they forced, but France had 29 turnovers. Mali had a lot of turnovers as well, but I'm just saying, if it came down to three-point shooting that won the game for France. And, I mean, you want to talk about performances. How good
was Kone?
My goodness. She was absolutely spectacular. And keep an eye on her and remember her name, folks, because she's only 19 years old.
Yep.
10 for 10 from the field, 6 of 8 from free throw range, 9 rebounds, 26 points, and 5 steals.
Yeah, I think when you think about basketball players, the type of players that you want in your team, that you tell other kids play like her, it's not always the beautiful jump shot or the fantastic dribbling. It is about the work, and her work rate tonight was off the charts.
Yeah.
A lot to be proud of. And again, okay, this is a French team that might be missing some veterans, but clearly they've got to turn the page and move on to some of the younger players. And while I liked a lot from what I saw from this player right here, Touré, and some of the others, you have to give Mali credit because they played them hard all 40 minutes.
Absolutely, and like you said, I mean, this is a 40th ranked team going up against the number 5 team. Third place finishers, bronze medal from this past summer's Tokyo Olympics. So they didn't back down at any point in the game. And I think they showed that Mali is a team who came here with a mission, and that is to qualify for this summer's FIBA World Cup in Sydney, Australia.
I am absolutely very excited about the next 3 days that we're going to be watching here, because I don't think it's a foregone conclusion about who's going to be there. And I certainly think that both Mali and France raised eyebrows tonight with what they've been able to do. So
absolutely.
As we watch some of the slow-mo replays at the end, Johannes being helped up after the collision, a couple of unsportsmanlike fouls called on France that they disagreed with, and it may be that after they see the replays they'll think differently, or maybe they were thinking that Mali got away with some, I don't know, but overall it was just a hard-fought game from both teams. So we watched a good one in the Ranko Jaravica Sports Hall here in Belgrade. 3 games down, both Group B games down. We saw China win earlier today by 14 over Nigeria, and then we saw France win 77-66 over Mali. Catch your breath, folks. One more game coming up here from Belgrade. Mali gave it their all, but France just too good. But there's always tomorrow.